I opened my eyes, and this strange old man was staring at me by the name of Rowan. He says that he's a Pokemon professor, and I wasn't sure if I could actually trust him, but as soon as he took out his Munchlax, I knew that I could trust this guy. He asked me to choose a photo of myself from the list of 8 that he provided. Unfortunately, I don't really look like any of these, but I guess I'll choose the closest one. He asked me for my name. Do you really want to know who I am? Who am I? I'm your friendly neighborhood, Miitendo. And this is a direct message to you, the viewer. This isn't a Nuzlocke challenge, so I'll ask you to leave if you're only here for that. But this is going to be my Pokemon journey into the Sinnoh region, where I get to control everything I do to become the Sinnoh League champion. So to continue the story, the old man left after asking me about my life, social security number, and where I see myself in 5 years. I finally woke up and found myself in front of my beautiful OLED Sony TV, where they're saying a rumored red Gyarados was detected. This takes me back to when I caught my very first red Gyarados back in the Johto region. As I'm in my room, I really wanted to play the new Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl game that just came out, but I really shouldn't, as I want to make sure that I get first dibs at the starter Pokemon and not be left with just a Pikachu. I go downstairs and my stepmom tells me that this weird dude by the name of Barry, with 3 R's, is looking for me. I finally go outside after about a week of non-stop Animal Crossing 2.0, and as I approach Barry's house, he thuds me. If I were a fighter and not a trainer, he would be back in his mom's... Never mind. We met up at Route 201 and Barry told me he wanted to go check out our local lake to find the red Gyarados. If only he knew we don't live next to the Lake of Rage, but whatever, I'll entertain him for a bit. As we approach the lake, we see this strange old man from my dream, and he's with this young lady trying to sell her some candy. I don't know if I should step in to help her or... Well, they saw us coming out of the forest and they got startled and left. Barry wanted to go towards the tall grass for some reason, but stepmom always says not to go near them or bad things could happen, like an old man trying to sell his candy. Him. As we approached the tall grass, we saw a briefcase. When we were about to open it to see what kind of weird things this old man has, we got cornered by cute little Starlies. Unfortunately, these Starlies had rabies, so we gotta take them out. We opened the briefcase and find 3 Pokeballs, each labeled with different Pokemon names in it. I had the option to take the grass type Turtwig, or the fire type Chimchar, or the... Alright, well, those are my only 2 options. For some reason, I felt the special connection to this fire type. I wasn't sure what it was, but I knew that I had to take this little guy for a test drive. As I took the Chimchar out, we used our patented scratch move on the very first turn. Starly used its patented tackle on us. I scratched it almost 3 times as much damage, and it has nothing to do with our level difference, I promise. I had another battle choice to make, and even though Leer seemed inviting, I just went for another scratch. And oh man, so close to taking out this rabid beast. Unfortunately, it used Growl and nearly scared this Chimchar that I didn't even want to attack anymore. We go back into the battle, and we use one final devastating scratch to knock out this Starly and save the world from the rabies virus from spreading. Barry barely made it out of his battle, but in the end also knocked out that Starly. Looks like we saved the world from devastation in a matter of only a few minutes.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
The young lady, whose name is Dawn, came back. I'm sure to thank us for saving the world, but she started yelling at us for opening the briefcase. Wow, after what we just did, this is what she says? Whatever, I don't want to be thanked anyway. She left, and we also make our way out of Verity Lake. Barry suggested that we return our Pokemon to the professor, but I wanted to make a run for it back to my favorite region of Hoenn. But as soon as I was trying to run, the professor and Dawn were blocking our path. When we spoke to the professor, he just said that he was heading back to his lab and didn't want to take back our Pokeballs. As I made my way back home, stepmom was making me a sandwich as I told her about saving the world from rabies. She told me I need to tell the truth to the professor about using his Pokemon for saving the world and then maybe he'll understand. But before I left, stepmom gave me a fresh new pair of J's. Cool, and I can go dunk on that clown Barry. So I wanted to keep my promise and talk to the professor one last time and made my way towards Sand Gem Town. As I made my way past the tall grass, this nice lady from the Pokemart said I can have 10 free samples of potions, but to make sure that I don't use too many all at once, or unless I want to hallucinate and dream about that old guy again. After about an hour walk through the tall grass, I finally made it to Sand Gem Town, and Dawn was waiting for me by the professor's lab. I think she has a crush on me, guys. Nobody waits over an hour for me. As we're about to enter the lab, Barry thuds me again, and I swear, one more time and this kid's going back to his dad's. Never mind. I start speaking to the professor and tell him about the situation we were at in the lake. He tells me his whole life story. which is about 90 years, so you can probably guess how long I was there for. He ended up giving me the Chimchar to use on my journey and gave me a Pokedex too. Before leaving the lab, I got a chance to speak to Don's father and told him to put in a good word for me. Right as I left the lab, you can probably guess who was waiting for me outside. Dawn said she wants to be my mentor. I'm so in there. She shows me the Pokemon Center and Pokemart. Even though I've done this multiple times and know exactly what I'm doing, what these buildings are for, I just let it be since I wanted to bond with her a little more. Before I go home to say my goodbyes, I went to go and say hello to my favorite nurse, Joy. After going back home, Barry's mom said that he left a parcel, so I actually need to deliver that for him. Do I look like an Amazon to you? So our hero, Miitendo, begins his journey to become a Pokémon Master. On the next episode of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Hit the like button if you believe our hero will be successful in his journey, or if he will become the next Ash Ketchup from Pallet Town. Comment below if you don't believe in him, and your reasoning behind it. Also, if you want to continue the story, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified when the next video comes out. Until next time, friends.